hello and good morning, everybody. Good to see you, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. The YouTubes and internets are just waking up. They're like, oh, it's Friday. It's been a long week. Hopefully, it's been a good week for you. Thank you for joining me today, Susan Wilson, Cody Bear, Andreas, as well, and everybody that's out there on other platforms as well. I'm reading the Behance chat typically, even though I have both of them up, but feel free to say hi, and I'm glad you're here. And thank you so much for that nice message, Michelle, that everything is good. So, hello, everyone. We're going to dive into some hardcore Photoshop compositing. So, this is going to be good. Oh, yeah. Bobby Orlando's in he's in Arizona, so having some time change issues. I hear you, man. Especially Arizona. I hear that it just passed that well, not the Senate yet, but in the US about it, basically getting rid of daylights, or actually staying with daylight savings time. So anyways, I'm just glad sometimes there's some subjects that everybody agrees on. I know I'm into it. So again, I'm so glad you guys are here. This is sort of an image I'm working on. This is all about sort of cutting out images and doing a fun composite. As you can see, we're going to do just a fun composite with this image, and yeah, it's going to be good. Varun, what's up? So this was pretty easy to do. I already have some things done, but I'm going to be doing this process like over and over again. But let me just delete this layer mask. All I really did here is go into properties, and I said, hey, remove background. Okay, so it was not that hard, right? And can we just point out how awesome of a job it did? Like, look, I feel like I don't have to do really anything. I don't have to go into use the refine edge brush tool or whatever. It just does an amazing job, right? Super cool. But we're going to be cutting out lots of animals, and I have already a lot of them cut out as well. So this is going to be cool. So here we have this lady. I've been kind of on this Mother Nature kick. Who knows why? But again, I just like the thought of Mother Nature and all these animals getting along, right? So that's very much on brand for me. So yeah, so this is going to be good. I do have a number of assets right in here. In my libraries panel, you can see already things that are cut out from various places that honestly, I spent my sabbatical pretty much cutting out a lot of this stuff and organizing it. It's like, if you're gonna spend a day chopping down a tree, you're gonna spend half of it sort of sharpening your axe, as what George Washington said, something like that. Anyways, so you can see everything's actually kind of cut out. In fact, that's all these plants and flowers, because basically what I want to have is all these cool. I want her to be Mother Nature. She's going to be made up of branches and mountains and all this stuff, and then there's going to be like lions and birds and all these animals like throughout this portrait is the idea. So hopefully you guys are into this. I think it's going to be really fun. And if it's anything like what's in my head, I'm super excited about it. So again, these are all the assets. I already have them cut out. They're not even cut out that well. Some of these are like, oh, this is a little wonky. Let's just delete some of this stuff. There we go. So we can see some of these branches are almost too big, but we'll get into that in a second. We can see everything is in a folder. Right over here. Boop, boop. Let's move this over. And I want to kind of cover her face with these branches. You can see a number of them like right here. This is a big chunk. I want to actually make all of this a lot smaller, because again, she's Mother Nature, and I have to make sure if I'm going to be compositing animals into a realistic scene, I need to make sure that like the proportions are correct. So that's my goal. Yes, it is wild and surreal, but I still want to make it somewhat like believable, right, is the idea. Okay, so we'll take this, we'll rotate it through. And again, I have not done this. I know sometimes we do live streams where like we have everything figured out. I don't, because I think it says a lot or just, it's really helpful when you see people kind of work through problems. So here we have this, Mother Nature. Here she is. I want to mask out, and these are all my, these are going to be the plants and basically the land, okay? And I want to make sure I just show the plants and the land where she is. So I'm going to hold down the Option key and I'm going to drag it up, and I can go ahead and add that layer mask. And sure enough, the plants and land, let's disconnect that. But now it's kind of like inside, right? So that's kind of where we're headed with it. And thank you so much. Afrosia, I see ya. Awesome. Okay, so that's kind of what we have. I've found so many cool assets. Let's talk about where I got these. Okay, because check this out. You can go to, let's actually go to, I feel like I show this all the time because, it needs to be shown all the time. I'm constantly amazed that I can literally go to free, and I'm like, how are we even making money as a company? I have no idea, right? Trees on white, that's exactly what I want. You can say I've already licensed this one, but look at all these crazy trees. All free. Guess what? We just want to have photos. So let's just toggle that. And it's just amazing what's available for free out there. These might be kind of fun to bend with. I want to bend a lot of, this will be cool. So again, you can see it says license. So you do have to license it. That means basically you're agreeing that you're not going to resell any of these images or do something silly, because I don't want you to do that. Ooh, this is the stuff I need. Ooh, sorry. I'm zooming in all over the place. Like this, kind of maybe for her shoulder or something. But again, we're going to work through this together, and we're going to see what sort of mess we're going to make, right? Ooh, this? I mean, come on now. Looks like I already licensed that. I don't know where it is. Let's just download it for free again. Trees are some of the hardest things to cut out. By the way, I've done this for all the animals. Let's go in there. Let's kind of take a look at the animals, since this is all about sort of wild animal composite. We will go into the animals. I really wish I could share all of this with you, but again, I have agreed to, can't really share it. Let's get this lion right here. Super cool, right? So we will just drop this guy in here. Here's our majestic lion. And we can go through this selection process. Oh, thank you. Abraham Lincoln, thank you. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Oh, Rick H., thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you. It's so good. And again, I don't want to misquote, but you get the idea. All right, so remove background. Boom, remove background. This is a case where, might not have gotten everything. It didn't do quite as good of a job. But again, it was a complex background. We'll go over here. We'll go to our Refine Edge tool right over here, right? So all I did is double click on the layer mask. For those of you who missed it, I did remove background, right? And notice how this changes. This is how you always know what's selected. If you're ever looking for something and it's not in your properties panel, just be mindful of what's selected, because this is all going to change based on what you have selected, right? Notice how it even changes for a pixel-based layer versus a smart object, right? So you get the idea. So just be aware of kind of what you have selected. Double clicking on this is the same thing as going to select and mask, right? That's how I have this set up. Double click, ba-boom. Here we have the lion who looks out for us. He's like, I'm going to take care of you. Usually go from the outside in. We can go ahead and grab some of this. This gets a little funky. Remember, it's that crazy background where there's lots going on. So it's very similar to plus, minus, to its hair. So that's all I'm doing. Doing this thing, you get the idea, everybody. Okay, so I'm still talking about sort of where to get assets, because that's not the only place. I think it's amazing, by the way. A lot of times with these, I could cheat in. And by the way, I need to add right here. So let's go to my brush, paint right there. And maybe I need actually more right here. There's his paw. Does anybody have a domestic lion at home? Wondering. Any cat lovers? Do we have cat lovers out there? I like cats. I'm going to shift this edge a touch. So I'm just cheating that edge in, and you can see it starts to cut in on that white, which is what I want. We'll click OK. All right, so there it is. From there, and I've done these for all of these, I could go ahead and convert this to a smart object. So boom, convert to smart object. Chances are I already have this cut out. Then what do? I go into my library panel. And honestly, rather than even having that, I'll still keep it there, but then I'll drop it in like up here. Bingo. And now we have, oh, and actually, I would probably make sure that this says lion, because now you could jump back in and you can say, you know what, I want an albatross. I'm not going to have an albatross in there. Why did I even type that in? Crow. There you go. So yeah, that's the purpose for labeling it. Otherwise over here, who cares? Hey, don't label or name your layers. It's totally fine. But when you do, I would say, don't worry about labeling your layers if you're working alone and want to do that thing. But label it if you make it a smart object in your library. Okay. Oh, PJ, do you have a cat loaf? Oh, you got a little fat cat. Oh, it's probably adorable. I'm into it. Smart object, we could resize it. You know, it's going to like be sitting on her shoulder. Who knows? Remember, we're just going to play around with this. Not only going to sit on her shoulder, we're going to make sure we bend this lion correctly. So again, this is a case where I'll go in. I could do puppet warp, or you could go ahead and do the word's escaping me, like another type of transform. To be named. Apparently, I don't want to tell you what it is because I can't think of it right now. Distort, a warp, right? I could also do a warp in here too if I wanted to. But again, just kind of making him sit back there, you know, just hang out, buddy. Do your thing, right? You majestic lion, you. And you get the idea. Yeah, I don't know what time it is either. Ooh, happy Holy. Is that what that's called, Varun? You have is it Festival of Colors? Oh, man, that's so good. I wish I would have coordinated my stream with a theme like that. Would be super cool. So anyways, there's the line. I'm still talking about where to get assets as we start to compile all of these. You could go out to, yes, I get it. There's other sites. There's like Unsplash, right? A number of other places, okay? But you have to go to like Pixabay. Isn't Pixabay another one, right? So I could try to find what I need out there by going to all these different sites. Or what you could do, and I love this, I love the fact that we have plugins in Photoshop. So if you're looking for Photoshop to do something specific, hey, go ahead and browse all the plugins that you have the opportunity to work with. But I'm going to go down to, there's a couple of these, by the way, all these stock search. I'm going to use Free Stock Search 2 Pro. Bingo. Right up here. This opens up, and now I was looking for... Is that how you spell albatross? There's our albatross. Perfect. Okay. And this is what the Pro version lets you download the high-res version. But there's our lovely like albatross, and you get the idea. So I just think this is super cool. And you can see where it's pulling from. Again, Unsplash. A lot of Unsplash. Pixabay. Those are the main two ones right here. Again, load next results on down the line. So that's the idea, at least, behind this plugin, which I think is super cool. Oh, yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for saying that. Rick H. mentions, you know, that when I would do the new show, I'd give you a ton of assets. The plan is to still bring back that show in some iteration. We're just trying to figure out what form that needs to take and what you like the most out of it. All right. Albatross. There you are, buddy. I got you, buddy. Right over here. Albatross. Boom. Drop it in with the birds. That is an area that's for the birds. All right, I'll stop. There we are, dropping our albatross right over here. Now, not only do we have it saved for later, but we're obviously like using it in this composite as well, right? We're gonna drop in all these assets, and then the whole color correction that you have to do is like a whole nother step, which is gonna be a whole thing. So, yeah. 45 minutes. Sean, oh, I love it. I love it when you guys pick on me, because it's like, you know, hey, we know each other, so I think that's cool. You could pick on me all you want, as long as you're nice about it. Okay. So right in here, we can see this, you know, but you could start to see the outline of this figure, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And Varun, that's a great idea. I should actually sneak a skull in every single design I do. But see how it's starting to like outline a person. So again, this is what I'm going for. All right. I have a ton more trees right over here. Oh, look at all these trees, right? That's the asset that I downloaded earlier, right? So I come in here. This is one of the hardest selections you have to do is trees. It's just crazy, you know? And going to remove background, I'll click on that. We'll just see what it does. You could see it's a mess, right? We want to undo that. We want to actually go up to our selection menu. Guess what? You guys have seen this. If you're any fan of Photoshop, it's been here forever. Color range. Because, hey, we're just selecting the white. Yeah. All right. So this is the way I would do it. I would click on the white, you know, adjust. You could adjust the fuzziness all you want. Crank it up more, whatever. Right. And then click OK. Right, we've made that selection. Now we'll click on the layer mask. I'm going to hold down the option key, click, boom. Right, and we'd see all of that white. But at this point, yes, you're going to have to go in. You're going to have to trim this up some more, literally, since they're trees. Let's trim them. But we'll come in and do all that stuff. This is probably the way I will do it, because it's going to give me more flexibility later on. Yeah, and again, it's a whole process. All I really need for this is I don't even know which trees I'm going to need. I'm going to need ones that have some space in them so we can kind of see through them. So, and I don't want it to be dead, but I want it like this one here. Yeah, that one I'll hit. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Just zip, 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 zip. If you have a different way to... why not render a tree? Thank you, Clarissa's got it. I actually might do that because I want the trees, so I could either bend those trees to follow the curves of her shoulder and stuff, or I could actually use a path and do the tree business, which is a great idea. So I love it. And don't think that wasn't the plan, because it was. If you're watching my daily photography challenge this week, you'd know that we did that earlier this week, and it was really fun. And I love it that you brought that up. All right, we're going to shift edge. I don't know why I always like shift edge, but it does definitely help out a lot. There we are. Click OK. Right. And we can kind of continue on our way. Find which ones of these that I want. Command J, jump a layer. Yeah, just be a rebel and just apply layer mask. Yeah, I'm a rebel. And then I'll just kind of jump in here and say, hey, you know, let's just take this tree. I'm not sure the resolution of this, so this is the thing that might be kind of interesting. Pasting it in above other things. You know, here's like the tree. Maybe this will work. Maybe it won't work. So I'm playing with size, and that's the part I'm kind of struggling with. So let's go back out. Go into my downloads. The other assets like this land, this is cool. Like these sort of things could really help me out. And again, let's open them up and see what happens. All right, if you're joining me over on YouTube, I want to say hello as well. But I'm mainly focusing on the Behance chat, behance.net/live. Hello, Nguyen Long. I see you there out there on YouTube as well. So again, remove background. Sure enough, yeah, that works. Double click, you guys get the idea. But again, this is why I'd only want to do this stuff once and then just save it. Save the asset. There it is. And I think I've already done that for this piece, by the way. So we're getting into flowers and plants and trees and blah, blah, blah. Scroll down. You know, yeah, I mean, here it basically it. I already went through that process. And let's continue. This one's good. Again, we're going to make a mess, and that's okay. What other news do we need to talk about? Anything else? Let me know what you want to see. Again, this is a conversation we're having. I want to know what you guys want to learn, like, constantly. So, like, definitely hit me up on all the social medias, like, on what you want to see, what you want to learn. You know, maybe you want to be inspired. We can cover inspirational resources. We can talk about free resources, things like that. So, you know, the world is our oyster. Let's do this. Let's just call this hill. Yeah, I want to know. You want to see more collaboration, maybe do some crazy things where maybe many people are working on like one idea and we do that one idea all week. Would that be boring? I don't know. Throwing out ideas. Let's drop that in there. There's our land. Have that done. Close that. Grab these. Drop them in as well. Do you have a wolf? That's a great question. That's wolf. Boom, baby. I have, how do I spell coyote? Is that how I spell coyote? Am I losing my mind? I swear. I've forgotten more things than I know these days, I feel. But I love the idea of a wolf. A wolf's going to be a fun animal to add. Just using some shortcut keys, so we will add that. Let's drop in the land. We're seeing how this looks. We're comparing the size because, you know, that's what I'm working on. The land, the hill. Remember, off to the side, I know this is getting a little crazy, but here's my folder that has that layer mask, so we'll put it right in there. And you can see that's kind of like self-contained. Oh, coyote. Oh, see, I knew I was spelling it wrong. You're like, good thing you know how to design, Paul, because I don't know if you'd make it in any other industry. Looks like I don't have a coyote. Should be C-A-Y. Thank you and forgive me. Okay, here's our tree. Again, just like playing with size, basically. Drop that down. And sorting through all of these layers. Like, if you guys know me, oftentimes, yeah, things get messy. I don't know what's what. What is over here, right? Hold down the command key, click, and it'll jump to that layer of whatever you have selected. Like, I know this branch, these flowers, command click, selects that layer, command T, shrink it down, right? This is just a fun little leaf that's out there. I want to make sure that we're breaking the border as well. Or I could even take an element like this and let's bring back, where is she? Here's Mother Nature. Boop. You know, this would be really good to add for like the eyelashes. Okay, let's take that. You get the idea. Flip vertical, do something like that, right? Don't worry, all these details are going to come through. It's going to look fantastic, I hope. Yeah, English is hard, especially when it's your first language. Just kidding. It's like, Paul, isn't English your first language? Yeah, not by choice. Just kidding. All right. As you can see, just adding some like so. For some of these items, I would even consider making this a brush as well. Now, the issue with a brush is it's only one color, okay? And I like the multicolor aspect of what we have going on here. So that's all. Again, trying to get as many different leaves and such in here, like so. There we are, right? You get the idea. And I know this is going to be complex, so let's just go over here and we're going to add a whole layer group, do a shift click to select them all, and then Command G, and these are going to be the details. Start adding the face details like so, right? In here, let's take all of these, Command J, Control J if you're on a PC, and, you know, do your thing, you know? I'm sure I know I have some leaf brushes and stuff, but anyway. Barbara, I want to say hello to you. Also, Mohammed, it's good to have you here as well. It's fine Friday. We're just doing some fun compositing. Right? Now, you ready for this? This is great for double exposure. There's no variance in color for these branches and stuff. Like, and what I want to do is I want to take her. Let's go drag it down. Oh, don't put her in there. So I want to put her on top of this Mother Nature plants and land. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a clipping mask. So hold down the Option key, roll over in between those two, shabamo, right? And now you have her, like, obviously being revealed. Let's turn off these in there, right? But then what we want to do is we want to play with the blend modes. So now we'll go in and say, hey, you know what? Is it darken? You literally roll down these and see what works. That's what I do anyways. I know it's going to be overlay and soft light. It's going to be within this range because these only deal with light colors and then dark colors, and then these kind of deal with like the interaction of those two. So we start to get some of that shading that I kind of like, and you get the idea. So there you are. And then I would add more. I would definitely add some more detail and stuff in here just to define the nose and stuff like that. So we'll have branches. We still need to focus on animals because, again, I want to stay true to this particular stream. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. But we kind of have the outline. We kind of know where roughly. Let's just do a Command J. Let's duplicating this layer. Putting her beneath everything. And you know what? Let's just go to work. It's time to go to work, people. Let's go to work. Right? I'm having such an issue with like the size of things. I'm just playing with it, and I'm not sure what to do. Right? Here's our lion. Let's just drop a bunch more animals in here. Okay, Ravindra, thank you so much. You're too kind. Animals will go in here. Yeah, we have them all. Yeah, of course we're gonna have a dove in there. Why not? And all those fun things. I'll typically put those at the top, like they'll be the top sort of outside elements. Zip. Already cut out, so that's awfully nice. The birds are going to be cool. Oh, look, here's a whole flock of birds. Let's just use that. What is this? Are these crows? Is this a murder of crows? Man, things got dark. Let's shrink that down. You know, they just sort of like left the trees, except for this last one. This guy's going to be like, he's going to be hanging out right there. Right, but you get the idea. This bigger bird. A little further. This one's farther away. And I'll play with color later. Let's get some more animals in here. Let's get a little bunny. Right? Oftentimes I drop things in and they're absolutely huge. You could do a Command 0 so you could see it, But anytime it's like really large, I just jump up here and I'm like, geez, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? It needs to be like 30%, if not smaller. So I'll type that in. I'll shrink it down. All these animals are going to be friends. They just need different places to hide within, within this setup. Yeah, feel free to monkey, bun. Okay, let's do monkey. Ah, I don't have a monkey. Dang it. Oh, I got a jaguar. Command T, and then I right click, and then I get all those other options. So this might be a case like, since it looks like it's coming out, do I actually hide part of this jaguar as if it's kind of creeping over her shoulder on this side, right? So yeah, let's do that. Layer mask. B for brush. What is it? Command D or just D will reset your colors back to the default colors, which is black and white, and then just hit X. I hope I'm right on the, it might be, it's different. I get it confused with Illustrator, but it should just be D. All right, so X will flip those two colors, come in here and just kind of like do that, maybe, I don't know. At least behind some of that. If I want to bring it back places, I could do it, like bring it back, and stuff. Right, maybe that's like that. I don't know. First time, people. First time doing this design. Shrink it down. This is probably going to get a little more ugly before it gets pretty, and I think that's okay. Oh, you have a lot of jaguars in Brazil? Oh, jaguars are cool. I think they're really cool. We need some big game, right? We'll throw an elephant in there. Which one do we like? You know which one I like? I'll tell you right now. Geez. I'm going to have to make some decisions on the lighting. So these two look like almost the same, but like the lighting is obviously on the side that's kind of more exposed. So that's why I'm picking this one. The lighting's going to be a whole thing. And we are making a mess. Like so. Shouldn't yellow be one of the default colors if you're sporting a banana? Oh, you're a banana. Just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I could tell already, just based on this concept, it's gonna be a whole thing. I'm gonna have to spend some time on this. For sure. Like, this doesn't quite work, but I personally think a lot of designs need to be grounded in a certain way. They need to just have like a ground, like the ground for her, like this color, like this shape grounds the piece. Otherwise everything's just kind of floating around. Another way to do that is to, introduce a background and like, does she flow into this, this whole, I don't know, like landscape scene, right? So let's see what I have for backgrounds. Now that I'm glad you brought that up, but like here's the background too. Like, are they part of it somehow? Like so. And that's the question, right? We'll go in here. Let's grab this. Boom. Maybe we'll use this. Open to thoughts. Open to thoughts. Right? Okay, this one's tricky right in here. I mean, it's not too tricky. It's just going to take some time. Okay. How shall I do this? I don't know. Through a lot of work, probably. but you know, it's so much easier these days. I'm gonna use the object selection tool. Let's just try this. Object selection tool. Yeah, we'll just, maybe I'll use the lasso. Let's see what happens if I'm gonna use the object selection tool, and I'm just gonna go through and try to select all of these cows, because I wanna remove them. That's the idea. Boom, there we are. We want to extend, actually I'm gonna continue to do that, because I think this is like the easiest way to do it. Because I'm like, I wanna be accurate and be able to tell Photoshop what I want. But I don't want to. I don't want to have to do all that work. So I'm just like, hey, you know, this general area, go ahead and select it. We'll go to selection. We'll go to modify. We will expand this. Expanding is always kind of a guessing game because it depends on your resolution. 20 was too many. We'll go to expand. We'll do like 10. Expand that out. I will just have a backup layer, and then we will fill. So I usually do. So this right here is going to be, ooh, it's Shift F5. Yeah, but I do a Shift Delete will bring up this dialog. So we can bring up the fill dialog. This is, again, just quick and dirty because I'm not even sure this concept's going to work. Let's go through, just get rid of them. Yeah, what happened to them? They got taken away by UFOs. And again, the only reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to just see if this is going to work for like as a background. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. Check this out. You guys are going to love this. Cool Deep, good to have you here. Yeah, feel free to answer that question if anybody has you know, a favorite book for design, color theory. I like Itton's Elements of Color, if you're talking color. It's a very small book, but it's so good. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do now. I really want to extend the sky. So let's see, and I want to extend the ground, but I don't want to make this whole thing look stretched out. So if I do a Command T and just try to stretch it, yeah, that doesn't look good. Right? What I can do is I can go in to content aware scale, under edit, content aware scale. So this time, again, just like holding the shift key, but look, as I extend this out, it extends out like the duplicate pixels, but doesn't stretch out the details of this, which again, that's what I want. I want to like kind of stretch it out. Give me something like so, that, you know, kind of fills this piece. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Is this working or is it not? I don't know, people. Is that okay that, you know? Do we do this? Does the whole background have this color? Like, is it like that? There we go. All right. Emma's in the house. Fairy's in the house. Bliss is here. Awesome. So I don't know if I really like this. Yeah. Let's grab some more items and drop that in like so. Hue. Let's crank up the saturation there. All right, we're learning. Content aware scale is super cool. So yeah, so this is just sort of another take. The key thing is that this bottom part just needs to be grounded. And that's what I'm working on. Okay, there were other parts that I was working with. There were other things. Even if I take a look at the flowers and plants. Oh yeah, this piece of land. Oh, it's a nice piece of land. Let's bring it in here. Let's go ahead and clip that. Let's turn this off. You know, and also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these Yeah, I'm going to take all these, Command G, we're going to group them. This is going to be the woman sort of out, or the, shape, basically. Separate that from the background. And then what I want to do, because I want all these things masked out with this one mask. I was doing it with these pieces. Like, no. Let's just take that. And rather than holding down Option will copy, right? And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have 15 of these, right? I want to select this one, and I want to click and just drag it up to the woman shape. Now, everything in this folder is going to get masked out, right? So, but this gives me more control because now I can turn off that background, maybe turn off the hill, and just start to play with this. That's all. I want to welcome everybody in. We got a full day of various master classes, which will be fun. And I'm glad you're here. All right, let's get to work. So much to do. What are the keys to make a composition look realistic? Oh, that's great. We should write them out. Size is one, right? So the thing is like, I don't want to have this bunny as big as the elephant. Since they're all living together, I can put the bunny on his head. Why not? So it's going to be size. Obviously, color, brightness. I mean, when I say color, that's huge. It's not only the saturation, it's like the luminance, it's the direction of the light. Like are you using the same black for all of them, right? Already, I can tell you right now, the composition is not looking realistic because look at how washed out these are compared to this bright lion. This lion was actually shot. This is a sunset photo, so this is a little intense. So I would scale back that color or brighten up these other ones. But I'm not even at that point because I need to add more animals. Oh, and so much talking. Let's just go through this some more. Ooh. Let's do this one. Take him down. Boom. Little piggy. Boom. Done. And bear with me as I go through this one here. Oh, yeah. Jokes. Remove background. Thank you so much for being my friend. And then just a little refine edge like we've been doing. You want a cow? I see Moo in their chat. We could do that as well. Again, just a little getting rid of that hard edge, just softening it up. Doesn't he look kind of cuddly? I mean, he's definitely cuddly. Tell me you wouldn't want to hang out with this guy. I would. I don't know if he would like that. He's going to be like, do you have food or are you food? So, anyway. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Again, what do I do every time I do this? I type in bear. So I name my layer and then I drop it into my library panel. Usually keep all my cutout stuff at the top so that we can take this, drop it right here. Okay, so now our bear is ready to go. And I typically take from here because if I change it later, I want it to reflect, or if I refine it more later on, I have that sort of flexibility. There's our bear. Let's get that cool, this griffin vulture. Close that. Don't worry about saving it. Griffin vulture. Look at this guy. 20. It's washed out. Okay, you ready for this? I'm excited to show this as well. This is super important. This is really important. So this one's washed out. Let's just, this guy's like so washed out. And you could go down here and you can add like levels if you want to increase the contrast, right? You could do that. You could hit auto, things like that, right? And I could actually clip it. So a lot of times people end up with something like this, right? Where that's being clipped out. You're going to end up with so many of these layers, it's going to get annoying. So this is what I typically do is I just delete this. Watch this magic trick. Command L. Boom. Right? It brings up levels. I just hit auto. Okay. It does some color balancing, probably based on my crazy options that I have going on here. If you ever want to and this is what happens all the time. This is so full of tips, guys. Let's say I've played with these. I'm not going to lie. I mess with these way too much. Like, how do I reset it back to where it was originally? Do I have to reinstall Photoshop? I certainly hope not. Hold down the Option key anytime you're in a modal dialog. It'll go to reset, and then you can click reset, and then you click it, and it will reset it. So obviously I've already done that, and it's actually good. But that also works in here. So I can just go ahead and hit reset, and there we are back to where it was. You know, auto. You get the idea. The key thing here is I'm actually going to adjust this manually, like so. But this is what you get when you do Command L. It now tucks levels underneath this, because this is a smart object, as a smart filter. And I don't have all those crazy layers. That's why I absolutely love it. You might not remember Command L or whatever. Let's take this this elephant. We'll go to Image, and this is the same equivalent. We'll go to Adjustments, and we used to tell people to not. This is destructive if you do it on a pixel-based layer. When you do it on a smart object, it becomes a smart layer, smart effect. So in this case, I want to punch up the saturation. We go to Hue Saturation. We get the same lovely dialog box. We crank that up, right? Punch it up. Click OK. Boom. Same situation. So use smart objects and then start using this menu. And then it just kind of tucks everything into that one object. And I think that's pretty good. Okay. All right. Alt on Windows. Thank you, Bliss. Yes, Command L rocks. I don't know if you guys do this stuff. I do this stuff a lot. So right in here, click Command L, do our adjustments, right? And actually, geez, I already forgot. What's the darn? So Command U, that's right, for hue, U, and then we'll punch up. And what I'm doing is I'm punching up our lovely little rhino. I call him a yes, because he's so cool. And we'll continue on our merry little way. This piece is obviously going to take me a lot longer than today, of course. I'll probably put him up. I'll probably put him up here, like on a branch, right? That I'll have to import. And I did not forget about sort of making your own trees. So let's do that really fast. Let's say I want a tree to be flowing a certain direction. I'm just going to hit P for pen. This is what I could do. I don't know. I could do a number of things, but let's just like take the curve of her head. I'm trying to think of the directions I'd want this to go. I honestly just want it to be like this. I'll just show you this real fast. Here's my line. Hit escape. This is actually set to path. Just keep that in mind. It's not a shape. It's a path. I just created this lovely little path. Where does this path exist? Well, it messes with your head, but it's in the paths panel. There it is, right? For this lovely path, we want to go ahead and add trees to it, just like flowing along that curve. Oh, this is where I should have done it on her shoulder. Oh, that would be cool. Let's do it again, Paul. Guess what? We could save that if I want to use it. I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to come down here and we'll just do dit, click. Yeah, I'll move that panel out of the way. On down like that. Hit escape. Here's my work path. We're on a blank layer. We'll go to render and then we'll go to tree, right? sure enough, this tree is going to sprout up kind of curving along her shoulder. So this is going to be perfect for what I want to do. The branches grow up, by the way. So keep that in mind as you draw your shape. So I don't know if you need to draw your shape upside down if you want the branches to go down, but that's how that works. And this might make more sense if I pick like a redwood. You can see how that curves along that path, and that's actually pretty cool. We'll go ahead and click OK. It'll go ahead and render out that tree. We could save this path, because if I want to like restroke it with a different tree, I would just save it as shoulder. Right, and now we have that lovely shoulder. And then if you click off the path, it'll turn it off. And then this definitely, we use our hue trick. Heck, just do that. Right, do I want to start doing that for some of these fun curves? Could work out really cool. Okay. P for pen. I'm down to my last 5 minutes, and I don't want to stop, to be honest with you. Who's up next? Terry White, can I have longer, please? Please, Terry. Please, can I have longer, Terry? He's probably like, whatever, because T. White is the chillest person I know. He's just chill. Whether he knows it or not, he's helped me a lot in my career. You know, in that he's like, you know what, just relax, Paul. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine, Paul. Don't freak out. You know what? So what? Who cares about, say, Flash or whatever? There's going to be a new design thing or whatever that's going to come along that you're going to be designing to. And I think that's cool. So anyways, we'll go into render again. We'll go to tree. They're going to come up from right here in the middle, and this is where I want that other tree. It was a young Robina, which I like a lot, right? Have it like that. Click OK. There it is, young Robina, like so. And I could always have that. And we'll put this as, I don't know what we'll call this. Chest. Sure, we're all grown-ups here. Yeah, so that's super fun. We're going to have all these, like, we're really able to, like, get the curves of Mother Nature, quote unquote, to get this to hopefully look right. Is it realistic? We have that problem where, like, hey, Paul, freaking make up your mind about the size of these leaves. We have little leaves here and they're huge over here. So make up your mind, right? I might need to go in there. This is a tree branch. I usually make sure it's a smart object before I resize. Oops. Let's go back over here. Click. What is click? There it is. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. It's tree branch isolated. Oh, I see. This happens as well. I'm down to my last couple minutes. Let's go back into my, what is the problem with my brain? Paths? The path is still selected. So that's what happens. Sometimes you'll have it selected and you'll be trying to mess around on your layers. Deselect it, close the panel, Command T, that gives me the branches that I want. And then do I like, you know, do I resize it? And I don't know. I don't know the answer just yet. Yeah. I'm not even crazy about this tree. I don't want some like anorexic tree, if you will. I want something that conveys life, because this is Mother Nature, right? So I'm sorry I didn't get more done. Just so you know, I have a ton more animals that I'm going to add, so you're just going to have to stay tuned for next time, right? I have a ton of plants and flowers that I could throw in there. A ton of animals and things like that, all right in here. Like, ready for it? Boom. There's all your animals, people. Because guess what? I've cut these out before, right? Just, you know, think smarter, sharpen your axe, cut out all the things that you might need at some point, and, you know, make a beautiful illustration or a composition out of it. You get the idea. But you can kind of see how you can kind of, oh, I love turning this on. I'd love to have some depth. Like there's animals kind of behind her that are like darker, like they're in a shadow being cast by an invisible object. Is going to be really fun. So stay tuned as I work on this some more. I'll get it posted to Instagram, probably not till Monday, because this is going to take me, you know, a chunk of the weekend. Thank you so much, Bliss. And everyone, I guess I have about, well, exactly 32 seconds But yeah, thank you, Chadi and Michelle and everyone. Yeah, for joining me, even wherever you may be. Lauda, I see you. I see you as a person. And yes, as Carol said, where's Waldo? So maybe my last little thing will be to, throw a skull in there, which I'll have to work on. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. I will see you all very soon because I will be on the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge today. So thanks so much. Bye.